So what was the actual role of a RIO?
So a RIO, by definition, is a radar intercept officer. So in the fighter role, you take command of the radar and develop targets, track them. You develop the solutions for long-range weapons employments. You work with your pilot to do all that. In addition, there's a lot of administrative work you do in the flight regime, from all of the radio communications to navigation. And then there's a plethora of boxes in the backseat that you're responsible for. In the modern era, the most important one, of course, is the laser guidance for air-to-ground weapons. So the controller for that is in the backseat, so it's all run from the back. Also inputting coordinates if you're doing GPS-guided bombs, and then some of the important but less sexy boxes between the scramblers for the radios, jammers, chaff flares,
So what was the cockpit like in general? Was it comfy? Was it cramped?
Oh, definitely not comfy. Not terribly cramped either. The Tomcat, being a big jet, had a lot of elbow room, but it doesn't matter necessarily how big it is around you when you're strapped into an ejection seat. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room, and to being ready to have an emergency at any point in time, you have to be strapped in tight and ready to go. So it could get very, very uncomfortable for long flights.
So did you have any control of the wing sweep or actually flying the aircraft?
We always joke that RIOs had 3 control surfaces. We had the launch button for the Phoenix missile in the back, we had the canopy eject lever, and we had the eject handle.
So can you remember your first flight in the Tomcat?
My first flight in the Tomcat, honestly, I don't think I remember the first one.
Really?
I think it's washed away from all of the adrenaline and the abject terror of being graded for it. Because in flight school, every flight is a grade. So after you graduate, even though in the fleet replacement squadron, everything you say, everything you do is being graded. So I think I was just so focused on it that all of the adrenaline surge has washed it away. I do remember some of it. I know that's a really weird thing to say. My first flight was a solid month before the second one. We had a little bit of a backup in the training pipeline, so they got us out and they got us one fan flight, and it was a single ship, and it was to go out and have a little bit of an introduction to what it could do. So it really was just kind of a fun go, burn some gas out over the ocean and get the feel for what it feels like, as opposed to being in a trainer aircraft.